Good day to you. Let's get to today's chart. I'm posting another video for you guys as part of our routine so we can get back into a routine together. The old routines we lost, let's make a new one for ourselves so we can keep up with the market and have some fun with it again. Now, let's move on to our dear Bitcoin and see what the plan is. Guys, you asked a lot about this site yesterday. It's called Tensor Charts, and I've already taught how to use it. I can't remember the name of the video right now, but I'll have the admins pin it in the comments for you. I don't remember the exact video name, but I gave a full tutorial on how to use this website. Now, on the levels 823, 723, 836, and 629, we had heavy buy volumes, meaning there were big limit orders. This yellow line shows us that. It shows that we came close to it and then bounced up. After that, heavy orders appeared at 8,492. In terms of orders, there's also a heavy resistance at 18,247, which, if you compare, overlaps with previous resistance levels. People are considering this whole move as fake for now, since there aren't any big sell orders and the price is moving up. Orders are being placed here, and it's not like there are no orders at all, but the fact that they're starting to sell from here and putting selling pressure at these levels says a lot about what's happening. Another point. Here, we also saw heavy selling around 8,000 to 9,000 with a shadow, and that order got cleared out. So, for now, there haven't been any heavy orders after that, but the price hasn't managed to move up either. That means our buyers aren't very strong at this point. For now, as long as this support holds, our dear buyer is present at this level. There are also some support orders around 8,600 to 5,500, which we'll check on the chart in lower time frames. Since we're talking about these 400s, let's see if these buy orders make sense in lower time frames or not. Around 8,260, let's remember these levels. What are these? These are what we call footprints, guys. Basically, they show where the most buying has happened and where the most selling has happened. So in this area, there was more buying, and as we move forward, there's more selling. That means buyers tried here, but they couldn't push through. Now, based on this footprint, the sellers are in control of the price. If I hide the candles here, you can see that at the bottom of that candle, which just started, there was selling going on. They took control of the price. Before that, the buyers had control of the price in the previous candle. For example, this one, which is so big, means there was a lot of buying at this level, at this point. So this could be a really important support for us at 825,527 and 825,429. This area could become a very important support for us because most of the buying happened here. This is a spot where people might place orders again, or maybe set their stop losses, and their entry points could turn into limit buy orders, which would strengthen our support. Otherwise, this is a really big buy volume. The last time you saw such a green color, it's not clear whose it was. So in this level, a lot of buying has happened. And as we move up, the volume is decreasing. Yes, that makes sense. Why does it make sense? Because there isn't any supply left from when we dropped. This is a correction of the previous move. It makes sense that as we go up each level, our volume decreases. What matters to us now is whether this wants to come down and if the volume will increase or not. If the volume doesn't increase, then we found our bottom, and that bottom is right at 8,400. That 8,360 we had marked before, that's the bottom of the move. We could just stay here, range for a while, maybe even get a wick, play around in this area, and then a box will form. Then we'll see what happens when the box breaks. What matters to me right now is the volume of this wave. If this wave comes down with low volume, the chance of it breaking here becomes very low. We'll probably hit a higher low instead, and then this level here could become our early entry trigger. We'll talk about this footprint and stuff in our next training session. That'll be our next course, once we finish the Tyree strategy in ShareSport. Let me see if you all have watched it, and then I'll teach you moving averages. After that, we'll take a short break from the handbook, and I'll teach you a bit about footprint. Our lives will revolve more around cycles, and then after that, we'll get back to the handbook. So, the next training will be about how to use these tools. For example, what impact does it have that we've reached this hedge here? If you look here, there was buying, but not here. Just understanding that, for now, price control in this 4-hour candle is in the hands of the sellers. That's one of its effects. Let me bring it to the 15-minute chart. It might take a bit for the website to load. We want to see the candles in their appearance. Now, in this candle, you can see that at the top of this shadow, most were buyers, so we didn't have many sellers here. Most of the sellers we have are at this level, right here. This is how we realize that in this candle, price control was with the sellers. Because if it was in the buyer's hands, the bottom of the candle would have been buying, and the shadow at the top would have been made by sellers. We would have said, okay, sellers made some resistance here, not that they took control of the price and pushed it down to here. So after seeing this candle with this footprint pattern, when the price goes for a correction, okay? I just told you one thing, just to give you a little perspective. So throughout this whole area, in this entire shadow up here, we had a lot of buyers, right? The price had to come down and it closed here. In the middle of these shadows, we had 3 heavy sell-offs. Despite all that buying, there were 3 heavy sells, and not even a single support could be established to hold up those shadows. They just couldn't do it anymore. So the control of the price slipped out of the buyer's hands. In 15 minutes, let's see where it goes until the buyers regain control of the price. Their limit orders were here. The buyer makers came and placed orders here, had orders up to this point. We reached these buyer makers, and some of their orders got filled. The buyer takers are someone else. They trade with market buy and market sell, making purchases and sales at market price. When the price reached here, they started buying again. If you look at one of the candles, the bottom of the candle is red, meaning the sellers tried, but nothing happened. The buyers came in and took control of the price. If we look at the daily chart, we can see all of this as well. Look here, it's all been selling, right? But notice that as it moves lower, the selling gets weaker and weaker. You have to see this. For example, in these areas, it's so faint that it's almost invisible. Maybe on your phones, where I'm moving my mouse, you can't even see it. But here, it's clear, and the buyer has come in and said, that's enough. How much further do you want to go? What are you trying to do? You can see the end of the trend has become clear. At the end of a shadow, the buyers came in. We had sellers here, but at the end of his shadow, the buyers showed up. That means, at the very last moment, down at that low price, the buyers took control of the price in this area. And here, a support zone is also formed. This 8,472 level is the reason why today's candle is green at the start, because at the end of yesterday, the buyers came in and took control of the price. They basically said, we're taking charge of the price here. Let's go over here. That's enough for us. There was an 82,650 level. We said there was an order around this level, which makes sense. Logically, before these support levels, I can move this and set it here. Now, before this area, they've placed their buy orders, which is logical. Before we reach these supports, breaking them could give us a short position. And this guy, breaking 86,642, could give you a short position if the drop has volume. If we see volume on the way down, you can hold your position. If we see a decrease in volume, take profit in the retracement. Take profit in the retracement. Now, if you want to see the volume, just look at the big wave volume, not on the 15-minute chart. Don't say, oh, the volume is dropping here. That doesn't mean anything. That's just noise. Remember, primary trend, secondary trend. We also used to set a benchmark, make tail boxes, and there was some noise. This is that noise. We don't look at the noise at all, we don't pay attention to it, we don't focus on it. The main waves, right now it's moving up from here, but it's correcting with decreasing volume, so the chance of it continuing is very low. It's very low. Has it increased in volume from here to here? Yes, it has increased in volume. So when buyers come in here and enter this much, even though there was an increase in volume, what's our conclusion? First, this is not a new wave. I talked about this yesterday too. This isn't a new wave. It's just a continuation of the same thing. And basically, at the end of this phase, we're just wasting our time. Second, let's assume that it is a new wave. Let's assume it's a new wave and its volume is increasing, meaning everything is set up for this wave to continue on its own, and you can't really tell how much limited buying is happening here, or how many people are at this level of FOMO that as soon as the price gets close, even just a little, they buy so impulsively that the price shoots up. Both interpretations are valid, but in the end, what it tells us is that in the next wave, if the move has volume, a breakdown here is likely. We'll go down to live in this lower box, meaning we'll be living in this lower range. If the move doesn't have volume, if it doesn't have volume, we'll just form a bottom and a range and play around a bit. Then we have to see what the new market structure will be. So right now, for example, taking a long position here on the 15-minute chart isn't really a smart move, to be honest. No, I'm not saying that opening a long position here is really a cool move. On the daily chart, we have a very important level at 91,478, a really interesting level. If this breaks and we get a daily close above it, that would signal a change in our direction, a shift in the trend, and it would make the market bullish for us, at least up to some higher legs above 91,860. We have important resistances there, 100,000 and 106,000. These two are really strong on their own, seriously significant, but here you can make a more confident decision. So, write these down somewhere. 91,478 if that breaks, and 82,003 if we get a close below that. It really doesn't make sense to take a position here. For this range, we can enter and then start opening positions once we get there. Also, December 2nd is the date. I'm not sure what today's date is, but December 2nd is when the BitUnix bonuses end. It takes a few hours for the bonuses to be credited to your account. Once the bonus is credited, I'll know because they notify me that all bonuses have been credited. Some of you might not receive your bonuses. If that happens, go to the liminal bot. In the inner circle section, give your UID, say how much you deposited, and what your activity was. Give me an ID so I can take it to BitUnix and tell them, hey, this person had this activity, why aren't you giving them their bonus? This happens for some people. And if they ask you for a palm scan, just do it. It's not for your identity verification, it's just to make sure that the same palm doesn't get the bonus more than once. For example, it helps them detect bonus hunters with 3 accounts. So just do a palm scan for them. There's no problem with that. For the weekly chart, for now, nothing. Nothing yet. For the monthly chart, also nothing. It's way too early. Let it play out more. This week in our monthly on the daily, there's a higher chance that the guys will take more risks. For example, you can't really short this. It has to come back here. There's a chance that our volatility will decrease since we've had so much movement. We've been moving for 30 days straight, so we've had a 30-day trend. It makes sense, like at least, I don't know, after 20 days we should take a break. It makes sense. For example, here we had 40 days of movement, and how much did we rest? We rested for 40 days too, meaning it's not that far-fetched here to just drop everything. Like, no matter how much I was pruning here, people would ask, why aren't you here? Why haven't you opened a position? Well, for example, we took a short position from this 106 level, we opened it, and from here to here, we were dealing with the ZK line and, I don't know, the dash line and ICP long, uni long. No matter how much I was pruning here, there wasn't even the possibility to prune here. The market just wasn't giving trades, so I got bored. That's why I should start teaching the guys DeFi so they can use it. In this trading environment, it doesn't really make sense. Most of my DeFi videos, if you go watch them, are for this time period. We also made a lot of people in DeFi at that time. For DeFi, everyone, just wait. I'm doing something cool for you. Okay, 4 hours. Oh, just say you want to open a position line. Where do you even want to put it? Here? 3? Seriously, where do you want to put it? Up to here, even if you enter, the risk reward doesn't make sense. Up to these important levels, 91. So for now, you have to wait. It needs another leg here. Now, whether this leg continues upward and is just a pause, or it forms a range box right here, or there's a drop and then a range box, you need one more leg. This structure is half finished. It needs to be completed. A trader's job is to realize that the structure isn't complete yet. What about for a short position? Your structure's complete, you just need your trigger. You need your trigger on the 15-minute 86,257, a small stop at 738, and you hold it so that if it drops, you whistle and that's it. For a position along, your structure isn't complete yet, friend. Even if you had a signal, this wasn't the place to say, go open a position along. Even if tomorrow we wake up and see this 93,561, now for your information, around 5, 6, or 7 o'clock, one of those hours, I'll post the analysis for you. At that time, if the market has moved smoothly and has formed a proper structure on the lower time frame, it'll let you know itself. Total is stuck at resistance here. Why is Bitcoin a bit ahead? It's because its dominance is a bit ahead. Because Bitcoin's dominance is ahead, Bitcoin is playing its game a bit above those main levels. That means total is stuck at the main levels, Bitcoin dominance is going up, and altcoin dominance is going down. What does that mean? It means whatever Bitcoin does, altcoins do the same. Now, if you find a bullish BTC pair in that rally, the altcoin will go up even more. If you find a bearish BTC pair in the drops, the altcoin will fall even more. But when Bitcoin dominance is rising and altcoin dominance is falling, whatever Bitcoin does, the market does the same. There might be one or two rare exceptions, but when Bitcoin dominance is bullish and altcoin dominance is bearish, we don't pay attention to those exceptions. When altcoin dominance is bullish and Bitcoin dominance is falling, then we do pay attention to the exceptions, because those exceptions move so well that they break the trend. I taught you all of this in the market structure with dominance videos. I hope you've watched those videos because understanding market structure with dominance is really important. Here, total has a resistance. It broke one resistance and now has another one. Only if you find a bullish BTC pair and that coin also has good conditions, then it makes sense to take it. Otherwise, if I were you, I'd let it go and not risk missing out. Let's say it even comes down to here, even below 2.9. It gives a clear short position signal, and it's the same for total and also for total too. They're all the same. There's really no difference. There's no need to bring up different numbers or different triggers. Their conditions are all the same. What if you set a stop loss? If we give it a little time and break this downward, then we'll go for that scenario where we test the 100 and 106 levels and then see if we break those or not. If we do break them, then what happens to dominance? What happens to Ethereum? What happens to our altcoins? If it breaks below this support box a bit, we can move on to that scenario to see if a spot position gets confirmed, and then we'll go for that outcome. For confirming a short position, this number is good. This number, 6.3729, is good. Its break is the ETH/BTC 4-hour all-time high. Yeah, it's slowly fallen out of the DeFi box, just so you know. To tell you why you need to check out the teasers, why you need to watch the DeFi tutorial, right now, this average APR is 110%. We're saying that if you don't take out your suite, should we compound it in which box? From the current price, it's 3% higher, 2% lower, 3% higher, 2% lower. So within a 5% box, how much has the box itself been here? It's been 5%. For how many days has this 5% box been here? 30 days. So how much is that? It's close to 10% in 2 months, about 9%. This same box has been given about 9% profit in 2 months. Honestly, that's not bad at all. Ethereum, for example, its USTC was giving 8.9% with all that volatility. What is this? What is that? What is this? What is that? I honestly don't even know. Go watch the DeFi playlist. Just sit down and watch it. Even if you were watching it like reading a newspaper, you might say, I didn't get what that meant or what this meant. Just move on. Later on, I've explained so much that you'll understand. Just keep going, move to the next one. Just remember, the liquidity pools that are being created there, now the meaning is different. That was for back then. ETH/USDT, BTC pairs, one is lagging behind. So, in terms of profit, it's going to be behind, which it is. In the new ones, it's supposed to be ahead. But for now, let's wait and see if this 2711 breaks or not. But that level gives us a short position. If we see an increase in volume, it's worth holding your position. Watch and see if one of these three things happens here. If a breakout happens there, the next level is that 2013 area. This is a really important box here. Actually, this whole lower area is a very important box. For all the major coins, this lower box is important. One day, in the analysis of the top 10 coins, I showed you this. If you saw my explanation, don't forget to like and comment and turn on notifications. Have a great day and night.